it looks like Diddy got some more cases. Our guy, mogul, who is the lawyer for workers on Instagram, you've seen him talking about the YSL trial. You've seen him pretty much a lot of the hip-hop news he brings to the legal world of social media. And he pointed out that Tony Buzbee is like one of the leading attorneys. He's like, this guy is like not any joke. And he has over 100 filed so far. These new lawsuits are centered around the sexual assault alleged of a 10-year-old boy. The case is so just way over the top that we can't even. I could, but I'm not, because it just The details. The details are just so murky. Okay, so apparently, according to this lawsuit, the 10-year-old boy lived in L.A. Basically, just to give you the Cliff Notes. Okay. Lived in L.A., parents wanted him to have the opportunity to be a rapper or an actor. Mm-hmm. And so they got with a consultant, an entertainment consultant in New York City. And the person said, let's fly to New York. I'm going to introduce you to some label people. I'm going to take you on the walk, do a lot of grip and grins. Okay? And one of the people that they had access to was Puff. Mm. According to the lawsuit, they were taken to introduce the boy to Puff. Mm-hmm. Puff checked him out. He rapped for him. He was like, man, this kid is good. Yeah. He said, I want to spend a little time, with him on my own. Okay. And so the parents then let the consultant take the 10-year-old to Puffy's hotel. And apparently while at the hotel, he claimed that he was asked by Puff how bad he wanted this to be famous. Mm-hmm. And the boy said, what any childhood, aspiring star would want to be. He said he'll do anything. Mm-hmm. And one of Diddy's staff then allegedly gave the boy a soda, which made him feel a little funny. And the alleged victims' attorneys claim that Diddy drugged the soda, and including but not limited to GHB or ecstasy. Wow. The boy was allegedly told, you have to do some stuff you don't want to do sometimes. After Diddy pushed him down to the ground, Diddy allegedly exposed himself to the child, according to this lawsuit, and told the boy to kiss him on a lower region. That I'll just say. Doesn't say that on the paper because it's all full on whatever. Diddy then, according to this, forced the boy to perform, and the boy apparently lost consciousness, according to this. When he woke up, he claimed that Diddy's pants were undone. He said he was hurting very badly. And when the boy cried and asked for his parents, Diddy allegedly told him he would harm his parents if he told anyone what happened. That's what the actual lawsuit is stating. Now, Diddy's lawyer has responded. Says the lawyer behind this lawsuit, the one that I referred to, Tony Buzbee, is interested in media attention rather than the truth, as is obvious by his constant press appearances and his 1-800 number that he has listed. And we've said before, Mr. Combs cannot respond to every new publicity stunt, even in response to claims that are factually ridiculous and demonstrably false. Statement concluded saying Mr. Combs and his legal team will have full confidence in the facts and integrity of the judicial process. Blah,
right.
Blah, 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 blah.
It's going to take forever to get through all these.
The problem is like,
terrible.
Whether it's true or not, like they're demonizing Diddy, and every allegation that comes out, everybody automatically thinks that it's true.
I mean, at this point, unfortunately, I'm leaning towards that way, but we don't really know, obviously, at the end of the day. But this situation right here, that is so disgusting.
Yeah.
I mean, if you're going for shock value, this is the most shocking thing I've ever read out of these, like, court cases. It's still really hard for a lot of people who grew up with all of that to believe, but, this is a lot. Like, if it was fake, it would be like everybody met in a private meeting room and said, okay, here's the angle we're going to try and take. Mm-hmm. Like, why is all the angle going this route?
I don't know. All these allegations seem to be very similar, except now, I mean, we're talking about underage people. This isn't the first underage person, by the way, that's come out with a lawsuit against Diddy.
No,
this is just another one.
It's not. But, okay, we don't know what happened with Diddy. We don't know what happened with this kid. But the kid himself in the lawsuit is saying that the parents let the consultant take the 10-year-old child away from them. They didn't get to go.
Right.
Because, I mean, this has to be pointed out, too.
Yes.
And when Michael Jackson thing was happening, everybody was like, what was the parents? Who let their kids spend the night at Michael's house? You know, this is the same kind of thing. You go with your kid, and I'm not wishing this on anybody, but as an example, you go with your kid to try and get them into some sort of entertainment world, and they say, okay, well, what we're going to do, we're going to go meet some powerful people, and you parents stay here because they just want to meet the kid.
Yeah.
Are you going to?
Absolutely not.
Right?
Absolutely.
Like, as a parent, there's no way that you're going to be with my kid without me knowing.
Yeah, we a package deal. Like, I'm going too.
Yeah.
Like, we're all going to the house together.
There's a lot of celebrities that we've even met in this room where they always have their parents with them, even when they were signed and, you know, going around doing all that stuff. But there's also a lot of parents that, you know, they make that mistake or they just don't care because they'll do anything that they're asked to make sure that they become rich and wealthy off of their own children.
I only remember, I mean, like, there's one artist that we've dealt with, because you mentioned there's a lot of artists that have come in here to do interviews with us. But my relationship with JoJo started when she was 12. And what I did, I got really, like, you know, used to reaching out to her mom and saying, hey, Joe just texted me. I just wanted to let you know. And it was always, so Mama D was always aware of the conversations between us. Because I was like, yo, like this girl was like, oh my God, you know, I'm coming to do the concert or blah, blah, blah. Or she had a cousin that was in Orlando, like, can she come? And blah, blah. So it was a lot of direct access to me, but I was then funneling it back to Mom, like, hey, just so you're aware. And she's like, thank you so much. Because there were so many people who weren't doing that and who were trying to, like, either wedge in between to try and steal her, to manage her or whatever. And so to take a kid any age like that and then just pull them away from their parents and just decide that they're like, what were you going to do? Ask the kid, like, you want to do this? You want to do that? You want to be famous? Well, you're going to have to I mean, like, this kid is making grown up decisions.
Right. At 10?
At 10 with no representation around.
And this was
like, that has to be pointed out in the midst of this.
Yeah, this was a regular thing back in the day too. Like, Justin Bieber had a mentorship with Diddy. Usher had a mentorship with him. And it's like, you see all these videos with all these kids with Diddy. We didn't think anything of it back then, but now with everything coming out, it's like now you have to, like, second guess every single video.
Usher was 13. His mom
let him, you know, big shout out to Miss Patton,
let him go to New York to stay with Puff.
Yeah, at 13.
And he was there at 13.
That's scary.
Same thing with Bieber. I think he was at 12, 13.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's where we have to start, you know, we might not ever know what really happened in these cases, but we do know that kids shouldn't be allowed to go off with famous people to see whatever.
Without
they needed to learn. What did they say? Usher went to learn the lifestyle.
Yeah, exactly.
At 13. Why my kid need to know now it worked. Usher's really famous. But at what cost? What did Usher go through that we don't know about?
Well, he won't even talk about it in a lot of interviews.
He talked about the fact that he wouldn't let his child do it.
Exactly.
He did say
and that says a lot.
It really does.
Like, I mean, if you are Usher and you've lived a damn good life.
Exposed to a lot.
It's crazy that he says that, too, because he was the one who sent Bieber to Diddy for that mentorship.
That could be a pattern, potentially.
But he wasn't a dad then. That's the thing. When you become a parent.
Yeah. Yeah.
You get a little bit more protective.
As you should. The whole world is different after that.
Man, this is crazy.
Yeah, a lot of these parents, we just got a text in saying the desperation of these parents, they just don't want the best for their child because they want to also feed, get in their kid into the celebrity world so they can also become famous and they can make the money off of their kids.
This says it's similar to that situation with the Rays baseball player. Like the mom made a deal basically and sold her kid.
Oh, you talk about Wander?
You basically are selling your kid when you put them in that position.
And then he would allegedly, break them off, give them money, checks, all that stuff.
Out of the 502, it says, yes, parents should also be held accountable.
Of course.
F that. You're not taking my baby nowhere. That's what I'm saying. If we've flown all the way from L.A., I can go down to the hotel.
Yeah.
It's like, at least I'm sitting down in the lot. I mean, something. I got to be there.
Yeah.
You can't just be up in the room with my kid. Come on.
It's like, why do you even have to be alone anyway? What is done in the dark that it can't be done in front of me?
Well, I mean, no, I totally understand it because if you have people who are there because of their parents, they tend to answer and look at their parents, and they're like, and so people who are signing them, like A&R guys, will say, hey, I want to hear from the kid.
Right.
Because they want the kid to say, hey, do you want this? Because there's going to be a lot of early mornings. You're going to be a lot of press stuff. It's going to be a lot of stuff. You're going to be in school. You're going to miss your friends. So they want to know that from the kid. I get that. But the parent, I'll be like, hey, you be a fly on the wall. You go sit over there. I want to talk to Junior over here, like to see if those answers are real. But leaving the kid or taking my kid?
Would never.
Bruh, come on, miss me with that.
No, I'm not even sitting in the lobby. I'm coming with you everywhere you go.
Yeah, this is crazy. They say, remember, hurt people hurt people.
Yes, that's very true.
Man, this is crazy.
Erica says it's like the R. Kelly stuff. The parents sent those girls.
Yeah. Yep, exactly. That documentary was insane as well.
I can't.
So we'll see what comes out because for this lawyer, I forget his name. You did mention it.
Tony Buzbee.
You have to. You can't just come out with these allegations. You have to have some kind of something to back you, whether it's hospital bills, whether it's text messages, emails, something like that.
I mean, you would think so. And realistically, like this person is taking all of these cases. I mean, the 800 number and everything else. This is just saying, hey, if he's been all around the globe and he had these kind of interests, then that means that, there are probably more victims out there. That's just them out pursuing that. I don't think any of this has to do with what he's in feds for.
No, that's
he's in there for other parts of it. So there, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like, so this has nothing to do with anything. Some of these might not even come to light. You got 130 cases and only half of them come to fruition. That's still 70-something charges.
Yeah, and the lawyer said that there's a lot of A-list celebrities that are actually going ahead and having everybody sign NDAs and paying off the people that have been affected.
Also in the Diddy fight is apparently Jay-Z and Beyonce fighting back against allegations because this source close to the Carters said what P. Diddy has allegedly done is just plain evil and they have nothing to do with it, but that's not stopping the assumptions that people are making. At first, they were taking the stance that it was better to ignore it, but they're now fighting back because they just can't stand by and let their reputations get dragged into the mud over lies and conspiracy theories. Jay-Z has ordered his lawyers to go after anyone trying to lump him in with P. Diddy with false accusations. That's why he threatened to sue Piers Morgan for giving the platform to Jaguar Wright spreading baseless claims.
That's good. I mean, if you weren't a part of any of this, then you don't want your name mentioned at all with these allegations. Hell no. And I would do the same thing. And he has the means to do it.
And the thing is, everybody keeps on waiting for Jay-Z and Beyonce to make a statement. And this is one, but it's not from them. Everybody is still waiting for them to say something.
Well, what do you say though? I mean, because realistically, what do you say? What do you say? One of your friends gets popped. You know people up and down clubs and up and down record stuff and athletes. The dude from the Rays. When that happens, you didn't see a bunch of Rays players step up and say stuff. They didn't say nothing.
No,
because they didn't have. So what do you have to add? You know what I'm saying? I don't know what Jay-Z could say.
What could they say to make a difference?
Like if he says anything, he's like, "Well, I always knew Puff was." Well, how did you know? Or I didn't know. Or you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's a hard pill to swallow, but it's one that apparently everybody knows the taste of because Diddy has been around political leaders, rich folks, business folks, Hollywood elite. And the funniest thing was Perez Hilton put it up yesterday and put up a stock photo of Puff that he was on the red carpet and he was on front of the step and repeat. That's the photos behind you when you take pictures. and it was the Weinstein Group. And I'm just sitting there looking like, if this ain't a telltale.
Yeah.
Because to be in front of, I mean, you know, the Harvey Weinstein Group did all of the big movies, had the big parties.
Sure. And now look.
And that picture right there was just like, it jumped out at me. I was like, oh, and you standing in front of Weinstein's name? Oh,
yeah.
That don't feel guilty.
You are the company you keep sometimes. And I mean, something that Jay-Z got to learn too, because even if he didn't do anything, still got that stink on you because of the people that you've been hanging out with for all those years.
But the way that the past is doing Diddy in, because now everybody's looking at every video and every picture and every just scenario
and picking out certain things.
People are doing the same thing. As you look backwards, you can't rewrite history, and we all have the same photos of those stories that they're putting out about Jay. And I wouldn't say that they're, necessarily true, but there's smoke there when you say, okay, this person was young and this person was young and you're a label person. Hell, Berry Gordy found Michael Jackson at 8. You know what I'm saying? So record people find people at a young age.
Yeah, different ages.
But now that this is getting that way, it's like if you're a person who has signed kids or dealt with kids in the past, they're going to come sniffing around to see if you're in this world, because this world seems to be getting a lot bigger.
Yeah.
That nasty part, it seems to be getting a lot more popular in the news today.
Yeah,
just sad to see.
We'll see what happens with all this stuff. I wonder what's going to happen, especially with the whole 10-year-old. That situation you described is pretty intense.
There was 10-year-old and a 17-year-old that were announced in the new onslaught of cases against Puff. So we'll keep you up on it as we get it.
Orlando and the Freak Show.
Thank you for watching this video. For all things wild, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to support the channel.